Hello and welcome to TreeWalker Talks, episode 91. And it doesn't really have a title. It'll have one when I put it up, but not right now. So the big thing is, I haven't done an episode of TreeWalker Talks since November 5th of 2024. And that was episode 90. So it's been a little while. So I'm back. I'm not going to guarantee I'm back for, every week, every other week, hopefully at least once a month. But just kind of a place, and I don't know where this is going to go. I don't think it's just going to be just about homesteading, things on the homestead here, that sort of stuff. So we might just go to all sorts of discussions. But time will tell on that. But for this one, we've kind of got a mixed. So we'll get to this part later. We'll do this last. I was going to make a video on all the seeds that I've gotten and things I'm going to grow and reasons why I'm going to grow them this year and that sort. Because, yeah, I still do have a garden. Kind of. Last year, not so much. We did garlic that didn't do good, onions that didn't do good, beans that didn't do good, calendula, they did great. But that's pretty much about it out there. It was kind of a blah year. Lots of little breaks in this. I don't like seeing that. I try to keep talking and stuff, but hopefully. So I was going to do a video on all that. We're just going to do it on here, and then we'll post it up that way. So hopefully that's good enough. People still listen to it. I just, you don't want to stare at me just talking about seeds, do you? So I thought we kind of do it in a podcast format. That way people could listen to it on other platforms too. Okay, let's get into the homestead update. What's going on here? Through some unfortunate circumstances, I no longer have, I don't even know where I left off with this, but I no longer have rabbits. We got rid of those. And both of my girls are out of school. Well, one's into college, but out of high school. So we don't have the 4-H rabbits anymore. So, and I've kind of been out of the meat rabbits for a little while, which I do miss. I do miss raising them. I miss the kidding. I miss the the manure, really, for the gardens and stuff. But we don't have those. The chickens dwindled down and dwindled down. And then I gave them some food. And I won't lie, I think the food was bad. And I think the food killed them. I was only down to 4 or 5 left, and I gave them some older canned food. The thing is, since COVID, so 6 years now, 5 years, something like that. I think it's 5 since I've had it. My sense of smell and taste have never come back all the way. And it's weird because right before I get sick, they'll come back, and I'll be able to taste some things, and then I'll get sick and it's gone. Right now I'm in one of those where I had baked steak for supper tonight, and I couldn't taste it. So I'm in a real bad slump right now with that. But, so I think it was bad, and actually, they passed away. I can't remember if I brought this up or not. We did have Muscovy ducks for a little while. I did take the Muscovy ducks and butcher them. We had an unfortunate accident there with, I think a raccoon got in, and it got the male. So without a way to have them kind of go where the decision was made just to butcher them and be done with those two. Quail, I just tried to start getting back into quail again, and I had a brooder failure and lost all the quail babies. So we'll start that off once it gets a little bit warmer again. I think I'm going to get those. I think I'm going to get rabbits. If I get chickens again, we're going to completely redo the chicken coop to better fortify it and that kind of stuff. But as you can tell, it's kind of been a little rough go. So right now I got nothing in the backyard except for a mess. Some half-finished projects, some torn apart lawnmowers, some pallets that need broke down, which I did start doing yesterday. I started breaking them down, making them into smaller things so we can do like shake shingles, that sort of stuff with them. But that's not the only reason it's been a rough go. And I will completely open up and tell it like it is because I don't think enough people do that. I've been battling with some depression lately. I don't even say lately. It's been for years now. And it's kind of been coming to a head more and more. And the things I used to take joy in, I don't so much anymore. I don't look forward to some things, and I will get ramped up and want to do something, and then something will throw a monkey wrench in it, and I'll lose interest. So, check on your people. Make sure they're good. I'm good. I'm not, but I'm okay. I'll get better. So, but if you have someone in your life that you think might need a little pick-me-up, give them a nod. Give them a call. Stop by. That sort. Okay, so let's get into it. Not much has changed. I do have a camper up north now on the property up there, the 1 acre, where I go mushroom hunting, foraging, fishing. Didn't do any fishing this year. Hunting, didn't do that this year, or last year. I plan on it this year. I want to get the hunt and fish combo. So you get all species fishing and 2 deer tags in Michigan. And I think for out of state, last year was $255, so probably the same this year. So we're going to go that route. My boat that I did the boat build on here, I've got a cover and stuff. We're going to get out and we're going to use that this year. Guaranteed. We're going to either in Michigan or down here. I'm in Ohio. I have the license here in Ohio, so hopefully we get going. Boy, it's been so long, I don't even know what we did. We did a homestead update. I think that's all we'll do. We'll jump into the seeds. So maybe next time, this was kind of a on-the-fly type of go here. I didn't plan this. The seed part's more planned. I actually have not a script, but bullet points on each thing I want to talk about for each of the items. And if you haven't, check out my other podcast, What the Soil Remembers. The reason I'm bringing that up is because a lot of these plants you'll find on there. That comes out every Saturday, or we may go every other Saturday, depending on how things go, because I do have a day job, and in that day job, unfortunately, it looks like we're going to be working some 6 and 7 day weeks, which is not great. So it looks like one of them's going to be 20 days straight working. Downside is I'm salary, so I get paid no extra for those extra days. Yippee ki yay! No, don't finish that. Okay, so let's get into the seeds and cuttings. First off, the number one, and they're in there because, well, I forgot they were in a box. So they already sprouted, and that's elderberry cuttings. And so elderberries, they're a perennial shrub. You plant once, you harvest for many years. They're extremely hardy, low maintenance once established. They're a valuable medicinal plant, especially for seasonal wellness use. I love to use it for syrups, tinctures. I've never done jams or wine, but you can do that. This is great for just like keeping you well. It's great. Once you have a sickness, it's great to keep you from getting the sickness. You make a syrup out of it. That's what I like to do. You can do tinctures too. That's a little rough. The plants are high yield producers when they mature. Birds and pollinators love them. The birds will eat them up. That's the downside. So you got to get on them and get them harvested before the birds do, or net them. They're a good hedge, boundary, or naturalized planting option. So you can put them, that's what I'm going to do out here with these. I have one that's growing. I'm going to put the others along the fence and make it so it's kind of a block and easily done. And they're easily propagated and they expand over time. So the cuttings, you just cut them off and pretty much stick them in dirt. And these fit well into a self-reliance, resilient garden, which is what I'm going for. Elderberries are rich in vitamin C, high in antioxidants, which is anthocyanins, sure. Contains vitamin A, good source of fiber, contains potassium, contains iron in small amounts. Known for immune-supporting compounds and traditionally used for cold, flu season preparations. And if you do a cutting, it grows quicker than seeds, but you can grow them from seeds. The flowers are also usable in cordials, teas, and fritters. Like I said, I'm kind of looking through the bullet points to see if there's anything I missed. You harvest them usually late summer and early fall. And you cannot eat them raw, or you're not supposed to. You can, but I wouldn't recommend it. Okay, and next is the purple tree collard. And I have to order more, because these are another ones that you get kind of as a plant or a cutting. And I got behind on things because of work and the aforementioned depression. And These got left in the box too, and I'm pretty sure they're fried. But they are a perennial leafy green, harvestable year-round in mild climates. Extremely productive compared to annual greens. No replanting each season once established. Now that depends on where you're at, because it is cold tolerant to many other greens. But like where I am in northwest Ohio, I would have to bring them in, or they will die when it gets too cold. They are a highly nutrient-dense staple plant, excellent for food security and resilience gardening. Do you see something going on here? You can propagate them from cuttings, and they have fast regrowth after you harvest the leaves. They're low maintenance once they're rooted, and they look good. A lot of people will drive them or have them just as ornamental, but they are edible. And they're great for small space, high yield gardening. They're rich in vitamin K, vitamin A, vitamin C. They have calcium, potassium, magnesium, fiber, antioxidants, and high chlorophyll content. So they're similar to kale or collards, but they're perennial. And the secret to these is if you leave them out there and you get a frost or it's cold, that all the starches in them, I do believe, turns to a sugar, and then they become sweet. So they're awesome. Okay, next one is sea buckthorn. It's extremely hardy shrub. It's cold, wind, and poor soil tolerant. Exceptional nutrient density. It's one of the most nutritious berries that there are. Valuable medicinal and wellness plant. Produces high-value berries if you tend to resell them. For right now, am just looking to get them started. Excellent for long-term perennial systems. Very drought tolerant once established. Nitrogen-fixing plant, so improves the soil health while it grows. Excellent wildlife and pollinator support. Useful as a hedge or barrier planting, because buckthorn, part of the word is thorn, and they are thorny. Highly resilient survival, reliance food crop. Unique and uncommon, strong interest factor. So there again, if you're growing something that you want to sell or people to see or that, this would be a good one. And the berry store process well. You can use the oil, the juice, syrup, or preservatives. And they are extremely high in vitamin C, even more than oranges. Rich in vitamin A, vitamin E, vitamin K, rich in antioxidants, contains omega fatty acids, including the rare omega-7, contains flavonoids, contains carotenoids. Boy, lots of big words there. Supports skin and immune health, and they have anti-inflammatory compounds. So being thorny, they are good if you want to plant like a row of them as a defensive boundary planting. Downside is, which hopefully I get a little bit of both, the male and female plants are required for berry production. They have bright orange berries. And they're very hardy in northern climates. And they're extremely resilient, which I think I already said, but once established. Next up, we have the Saskatoon Serviceberry. Extremely hardy northern climate shrub. It's a perennial producer, long-term food source, early season fruit. So it fills in some of the gaps. So it'll be one of the first fruits that you get. Highly productive once established. Excellent fresh eating and preserves. Attractive ornamental shrub. Flowers, and they have a beautiful fall color. Strong wildlife and pollinator value. Let's bring them bees in, right? Good hedge, windbreak, or edge plant. Low maintenance once mature. You know, I say that, good hedge. Boy, a lot of these are making good hedge and stuff, aren't they? So you could actually use these, even maybe make a maze with them. Maybe not the thorny ones, though. They are reliable producers in cooler climates. They're a unique, underutilized food crop, which means they're good for resilience and food security gardening. They are rich in antioxidants, a good source of fiber. They contain vitamin C, manganese, iron, magnesium, potassium. They're similar nutrition profile to blueberries. They have natural sugars for energy. And they have something that's polyphenols, which is beneficial for your health. The flavor of these is often described as blueberry and almond mixed. They make excellent pies, jams, syrups, and even wine. And we'll say it again because it's important. This is what I'm looking for, too, is very cold tolerant. Beautiful spring flowering shrub. Not too many pest issues. And that's it for that one. Next up, we'll do Salsify. Reasons for growing Salsify. They're unique and uncommon root crop, which means can drive curiosity and people might try it just because it's different. And no one else will have it at the food or the farmer's market if you take it. But they're cold hardy and they're frost tolerant. They store well in ground for extended harvest. Edible roots, leaves, and shoots. Mild, oyster-like flavor. So that's something completely different. So think of a root crop like a small potato type thing that tastes like oysters. It's a good for crop diversity, resilience gardening. It's got deep taproot, which helps soil structure. It's a reliable producer in cooler climates. Low maintenance once it's established. Good shoulder season harvest potential. Nutrient-dense root vegetable. Visually interesting, so it's used for ornamental value too. And there again, it's a good survival, self-reliance crop. But what is in these? Well, they have a good source of fiber. They contain potassium, iron, calcium, vitamin C, magnesium, phosphorus. They are low-calorie, nutrient-dense. They contain inulin, which is beneficial prebiotic fiber, and it supports digestive health. It was once called the oyster plant, and the flavor only improves after it's been frosted on. It's long growing season, but flexible harvest. Roots can remain in the soil over winter. Edible flower buds and young greens. Next up, we got red fire Orach, which has a deep red foliage, so it's extremely beautiful, so like ornamental, but it's an ornamental that you can eat. So that's kind of another thing we've got going here, is there's a lot of them that are beautiful, but taste good too. They grow fast. They're heat tolerant, so it's a great spinach alternative in the summer. And it's even cold tolerant in the early season. Edible leaves with mild, salty, spinach-like flavor. Very productive biomass plant. Good for continuous leaf harvest. Adds diversity to greens production. Handles poor soils reasonably well. It's got a good self-seeding potential. Excellent resilient garden crop. And another thing, I've been bringing all these up. Another good thing is you can actually, most of these, use them to feed livestock too. So if you're not going to eat them all, they're great for them, especially, with these nutritional values. Like Salsify, not unsalsify. Red Fire Orach is rich in vitamin A, vitamin C, calcium, potassium, magnesium, fiber, iron. It's a lot like spinach in its nutrition profile. It's got antioxidants and it's got low calories. Used to be called the mountain spinach. Leaves can be eaten raw or cooked, just like spinach. And is visually dramatic. It can get very impressive in size quickly. Next up is Skirret. It's a perennial root crop, so it's got long-term productivity. Produces multiple sweet roots per plant. Excellent cold tolerance. Historically proven food plant. Unique and uncommon. Not too many people grow them today. Sweet, pleasant flavor compared to many roots, vegetables. Harvest flexibility once established. Good resilience, food security crop. The roots store well. Good for diversified perennial systems. Low maintenance once it's mature. And it is a good source, which is the first one we've had this. Good source of carbohydrates, dietary fiber, potassium, calcium, iron, vitamin C, magnesium, low fat, nutrient dense, and easily digestible sugars. I say that they're much better digested after a frost. They're often described as sweet and carrot-like. They produce clusters of slender roots, very frost tolerant, once very common in European gardens. You can harvest the roots individually as needed, and this is one of those forgotten food crops. And the next one is a brain food. Brahmi or Bacopa monnieri. Sure, I'm horrible at saying those things. It is highly valued medicinal herb. Really does good with cognitive support. Traditionally used for memory loss and focus. Or for memory and focus, not memory loss. Maybe I need to start using it. It's an excellent plant for herbal preparations. This plant has grown, I think it was Japan on an island, and a lot of the people there live to be 100 or plus, over 100. So Something about this, they eat it daily. It is a perennial creeping growth habit, so it kind of like moves. Thrives in moist environments. Can be grown in containers or wet zones. Low growing, easy to manage plant. Fast spreading once established. Unique and uncommon garden plant. It fits wellness, functional garden goals. It's an edible leaf herb. Very resilient and diverse. You can use it for teas, tinctures, and extracts. Okay, we've got some bigger words here because this one contains different stuff. It contains bacosides, which is a primary active compound known for cognitive supporting properties. Contains antioxidants, traditionally associated with memory support. May support stress response. That's aptogenic reputation. Contains flavonoids. I've got an alarm going off. Remind me to take trash out. It has mild anti-inflammatory properties. Used in traditional herbal medicine systems. The leaves actually contain trace minerals. Functional herb rather than a calorie crop. It loves moisture. It's a ground cover. Has small succulent leaves. Delicate white to pale purple flowers. It's very easy to propagate, and it's excellent for a medicinal herb garden. Next up is silver buffalo berry, or Shepherdea argentea. Sure. It's an extremely hardy shrub. Excellent cold tolerance. Native North American plant, which is kind of where I'm at. Very resilient once established. It is another nitrogen-fixing shrub. Excellent for poor marginal soils. Strong drought tolerance. Valuable wildlife plant. The birds love the berries. It's another good hedge, windbreaker, boundary shrub. Long-lived perennial producer. Unique and uncommon fruit crop. Its silver foliage and red berries make it very highly sought after as ornamental, and it's low maintenance once it's mature. The berries are rich in antioxidants, contain vitamin C, lycopene, beneficial plant polyphenols, trace minerals, and it was traditionally used as a food source. Tart, nutrient-dense berries, low calorie. It's very cold hardy, thrives in northern climates. There's another one that you need male and female plants for berry production. Flavor improves after frost. It's often used in jams, jellies, and sauces. Okay, we're on number 10 now out of 17. The honeyberry. And all of these are new stuff I've never grown before. Extremely cold hardy shrub. Very early fruit producer. It's one of the first berries of the season. Perennial long-term producer. Unique and uncommon fruit crop. So in other words, if you can get enough and get it to farmer's market, you're probably going to sell good on it. High productivity once it's established. Minimal maintenance compared to most fruits. Excellent fresh eating berry. Good for jams, preserves, and syrups. Handles cooler climates exceptionally well. It's an attractive shrub with ornamental value. Good wildlife and pollinator support. It actually is a very good producer in short growing seasons. It's very high in antioxidants, rich in vitamin C, contains vitamin A, potassium, polyphenols, good fiber content, similar nutritional class to blueberries. It's got anti-inflammatory compounds, natural sugars for energy, and it's a nutrient-dense fruit. I was trying to silence my phone as I was talking, and that didn't go very well. It is often called haskip. Its flavor is described as a blueberry and a raspberry blend. Very early harvest windows. Requires cross-pollination. Very excellent cold climate berry shrub. Next one is Good King Henry. It's a perennial leafy green. Early season edible shoots. Multiple edible parts, the leaves, the shoots, and the flowers. Or flower buds. Historically proven survival food. Excellent resilience garden plant. Cold hardy and durable. Low maintenance once established. Reliable producer in cooler climates. It is a good spinach substitute. It's a nutrient-dense leafy green. Uncommon heritage plant. Good for permaculture-style systems, and it's got a continuous harvest potential. It is rich in vitamin A, good source of vitamin C, contains iron, calcium, potassium, fiber, mineral-rich, low-calorie, nutrient-dense food. It sometimes is called the poor man's asparagus, which the young shoots supposedly taste a lot like asparagus. Leaves can be eaten raw or cooked. Flower buds usable like broccoli. Well suited for food security gardens. Hardy, dependable producer. You used to find this in all the gardens in Europe. Next is the winged bean. It is extremely high yield, multi-purpose plant. Nearly the entire plant is edible. Pods, leaves, flowers, tubers, and seeds. Now, I will say, I don't know if it says this later or not, it is best done in warmer climates. Like where I'm at, it will be okay, and I should get pods, leaves, flowers, and seeds probably, but I probably won't get tubers because it needs long growing season to get those tubers going. It's a very high protein plant, which is rare for vegetables. Excellent summer heat performer. It is also a nitrogen fixing legume. Fast growing, vigorous vine. Excellent nutrition per square foot plant. It is useful fresh, cooked, or stored. It is an awesome staple crop. And it continuously produces when thriving. Very high protein, pods and seeds especially. Contains vitamin E, not E, A, C, calcium, iron, potassium, fiber. It's nutritionally comparable to soybeans. The tubers provide carbohydrate energy. It is often called the super plant for food production, thrives in hot weather. It does require a trellis or support. Extremely productive when happy. Aren't we all? Aren't we all? It is rarely grown in any typical North American garden. Next is Roscoto, I think I'm pronouncing that right, hot peppers. Extremely unique pepper variety, not grown very much. Excellent cool weather tolerance for a pepper. It is actually grown, if I remember, it's in the Andes Mountains, and the people there will eat them to create body warmth, and it'll keep them warm. They are thick-walled, juicy fruits. Distinctive flavor profiles, not just the heat. Visually striking plant and peppers. It's a long-lived pepper plant in proper conditions. It's got the interest factor because it's not one you're going to find around here or like farmers markets. Very productive when established. Uncommon genetics compared to typical peppers. It is ornamental and edible. It is rich in vitamin C. It contains vitamin A, antioxidants, capsaicin. Yeah, that's got metabolic and circulatory. It's the same. That's got the same kind of thing as like most hot peppers. Contains potassium, low calorie, carotenoids, flavonoids, good dietary fiber, and it has functional health supporting compounds. It is one of the oldest domesticated pepper species. It is often confused with typical chili peppers. It is very thick flesh compared to most hot peppers. It has distinct black seeds. Tolerates cooler climates than most peppers. Excellent for stuffed pepper dishes. Up next is the fava bean, or the broad bean. Excellent cool weather crop. Very early season producer. It's a nitrogen fixing plant. Extremely productive. High protein garden staple. Handles cold weather better than most beans. It's got large seeds, which means easy planting and fill in the belly. Edible at multiple stages. Excellent biomass producer. Good for crop rotation systems. It is a traditionally historically proven crop. It is very high in protein, rich in fiber, contains iron, potassium, magnesium, folate, which is vitamin B9, manganese, and good complex carbohydrates. It's one of the best beans for cold climates, can be eaten fresh or dried. Young pods are also edible in some uses. Really works on building your soil. And it's an excellent survival staple crop. Sorry about that. I had to burp and I didn't figure you wanted to hear it. This next one. Now, I got this one because I used to have it in my yard at my house. And it was a white mulberry. But this one is actually a Russian mulberry. It's extremely hardy and resilient tree. Fast growing compared to many fruits. Let me pause on my bullet points there. I would love to get a couple of these going around like a chicken coop or that, because then if anything falls on the ground, those chickens are going to eat it up and make it into eggs. Very high fruit production potential. Excellent wildlife supporting tree. Highly adaptable. strong drought tolerant once it's established, long lived, excellent shade tree with edible yield. The fruit is usable fresh or preserved. I like to give them a light, the word's escaping it, vinegar bath, and then freeze them on a pan, and then you let them, because then they can all be separate, and then bag them and put them in the freezer. There's almost no maintenance. I mean, once they're mature. Most people, when they think of mulberry, they just think of the bird poop and stuff, but this is great. I mean, you can take the leaves and feed them to rabbits and stuff, and it's good for them. Contains vitamin C, iron, potassium, antioxidants. One I don't even know what it is. Resveratrol-like compounds. It's got good fiber, natural sugars. It's extremely productive too, and which is true. There's several of these, the regular mulberries that go where I fish, and I'll use them for bait or just eat them while I'm doing it. And they resemble elongated blackberries. Excellent for fresh eating, jams, and wine. And the leaves are usable, like I said, for livestock in some situations. Next up is the Yupon holly. It is the native let's try that again. It is native to North American, and it's an evergreen shrub. Extremely hardy and adaptable. It is the only native caffeinated plant in North America. Excellent for pea. Well, I guess if you drink the tea, because it's excellent to make tea, which, here, let's pause it right there and let you know. So when we threw a certain country's tea into the harbor and said we didn't do it anymore, we didn't just grab coffee and go, yep, we got this, baby. This is what they used. It made a black drink, much like looking like coffee, but it was tea and it was caffeinated. And it sold very well. I'll be having a podcast on what the soil remembers coming up for this one. It is strong drought tolerant once it's established. Excellent hedge or privacy shrub. It's got berries and evergreen foliage, so it's very ornamental. The wildlife love it. Low maintenance. Excellent resilient self-reliance crop and tolerates pruning and shaping well. Naturally contains caffeine. Contains theobromine, mild stimulant compound. So this was supposedly the caffeine in this and the mixes, the chemical mixes, won't upset your stomach, like high acid coffee can sometimes. And it's digestive very good. It's not habit forming, and you don't get jitters from it. It does contain antioxidants, polyphenols, used as a tea plant, mild energy supporting beverage, trace minerals. It is a functional wellness plant. It is a stimulant profile to tea, yerba mate. No calories in it. So it has bright red berries, the female plant, so it sounds like you need the male and female plants. And it's highly tolerant of poor conditions. Okay, so that's all the new seeds I have so far. Now, in case you're wondering, and I've got these already in the freezer, cold stratification, which ones? Saskatoon Serviceberry, Elderberry, which didn't really need it, sea buckthorn, Russian mulberry. Some that will benefit from it, but you don't have to, honeyberry, silver buffalo berry, and good King Henry. And they're all in my freezer waiting to go. All right. Hopefully you're still here, and hopefully that wasn't just too much talk and not enough show. I'll put some pictures up of the plants as we go along, and I'll try to mark it so that we know, like chapters. All right. Thanks for joining me on my TreeWalker Talks podcast episodes. We're back, and hopefully I'll see you again before too long.